Yeah, there you go. And we'll say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on this Wednesday, hump day, over the hump and through the woods to it. Maybe another wintry weekend, we'll see. Got some possibilities, some snow tonight, as a matter of fact, so we'll see how that unfolds. But we are here at Chick-fil-A. We're out of the studio and out in the real world, per se, although I enjoy very much doing the show from the homestead. But we're here again live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on People Street. We're joined by the Steins boys. They're over here. We'll have them on, or one of them on in a minute. That would be Axel Stein Shines, because Elizabeth and schools are out again today. Basketball last night. Again, rescheduled. We got 2 next week. Monday will be a Crockett Tuesday, our regular game, and then Wednesday we will be at Daniel Boone next Wednesday night a week to make that game up. So, provided there's no snow and anything going on with the weather next week. So we don't know, but we know today it's foggy and cool. Rain this afternoon may change, or is going to change to snow. We'll see what the temperature is, see if it's going to stick for tonight. So, and I'm going to go on record and say it'll probably stick in the mountains, but there again, I'm here, you're there, and we're glad we're together again. At least I am. Show number 2440 on the Tom Daly Sports Show. And so we've got Andrew Smith coming in a few minutes. Talk the Vols. Got a big win last night. Blew out Ole Miss at home. We'll talk about that. Joey Aguilar, what's his latest on that? He covers the Vols for the Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. Of course, the Big East Super Bowl on Sunday. What's his take? Seahawks or Patriots? And I think that's something else we got him talking about. I think the NBA trades, some of those came down last night. So all that with him. Then Mr. Baseball joins us. We've got him signed up and lined up and ready to go as early as next Tuesday. Spring training, Major League Baseball. It's right around the corner next week. Think spring. Yes, you folks out there wanting snow and ice, it's okay. Each to their own. Everybody has their own desires, wants, and needs, but I'm over it. I'm ready for spring. So, and we're not out of the woods yet. You know that. But anyway, the spring training comes up next week, and that's good. Pitchers and catchers report first, of course, in Major League Baseball. Then everybody else reports later on the rest of the team. So, pretty cool. It's here, folks, and I like it. National Anthem time. Who's doing it? Faith Hill's doing it. Bringing you the National Anthem on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes
To mom this hard, you delegate. Kate, that bathroom's not clean yet. Jimmy, I need help with the dishes, big guy. I delegate like a mother, and I let Food City do the grocery shopping for me. With Go-Kart Curbside Pickup, I tell them what I need and how I like it. I order everything online and pick it all up curbside. With Go-Kart, I'm taking motherhood to a whole nother level.
Mother like no other, only at Food City.
So here's our schedule, updated schedule for basketball. Of course, last night got snowed out, iced out, whatever. So Monday will be at Crockett. Tuesday at home against Unicoi County. Wednesday, the makeup game at Boone. So Monday's makeup game. So Monday, makeup at Crockett. Tuesday, home, Unicoi County. I believe that's senior night. Wednesday will be at Boone in the makeup game. Friday, Westridge at home. And then Saturday, Dobbins Minute girls will be coming to John Treadway. So that's the schedule. We're going to be busy next week. So hello, George Gwynn. How you doing, buddy? Container man. So that's what's coming up next week. So enjoying the time off this week. You're going to be working it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday next week. And let's see, I got Milligan next week as well. Next Saturday's Valentine's Day. Got a doubleheader at Milligan. And a doubleheader at Saturday's Milligan. So we're busy, and that's okay. We like that. All right, birthdays today. A couple to tell you about. Alice Cooper having a birthday. Welcome to My Nightmare, when that name of the song. School's out forever. Alice Cooper is 78 today. And country music singer Clint Black's having a birthday. He is 64 on this Wednesday, Feb 4, 2026. Nate Ament last night, 26 out of 28 in the second half. Guy was on fire. Number 25, Tennessee pulling away. Fourth straight victory, 84-66 over Ole Miss. Will go to Kentucky on Saturday evening in Rupp Arena. The bout of the Wildcats. It's the next one up. Jacoby Gillespie 20, J.P. Estrella's 12, and Bishop Boswell added 10 for the Volunteers. They improved to 16-6, 6-3 in the SEC. Ole Miss has lost 4 in a row. They fall to 3-6 in the league and 11-11 overall. But in their defense, an ice storm January 3rd impacted Oxford. Ole Miss really got nailed that ice storm. Well, we got up here, I mean, they got smoked. That was the week before when we didn't get much. They had a false alarm, and they got smoked down in Alabama and, of course, Middle Tennessee and Mississippi. So that ice storm back in January 23rd, or on January 23rd, impacting Oxford enough that the Ole Miss game against Vanderbilt was moved to Nashville. They played last night in Knoxville. Saturday's game at Texas. Ole Miss will have played 7 of its first 10 SEC games on the road. So once they start getting back home, Ole Miss could be a different thing. Could be a different story. But anyway, it wasn't last night. Vols got them pretty good, 84-66. Tennessee, again, on a really good high right now. Hello, Ethan Walton. How you doing, sir? And heading off to Lexington on Saturday evening for the Wildcats at Rupp Arena, which will be an interesting ball game. Last night, top 25, all the big boys played and won. Number 3, UConn, 32-point win over Xavier. Number 4, Duke, beats Boston College by 18. You had number 23, Miami of Ohio, staying unbeaten. Only 2 unbeaten teams in the country. They're one of them. They beat Buffalo only by 2. You have 22nd ranked St. John's with a 12-point win over DePaul last night. 18th ranked Virginia, a 20-point win over Pitt. And St. Louis went into Davidson and beat the Wildcats by 9 last night. Now, tonight, Top 25 college basketball, we got, 3, 6, 7 games on tap. Highest ranked team will be number 5, Illinois, hosting Northwestern. Number 6, Gonzaga, plays at Portland tonight. You have number 8, Houston, hosting Central Florida. 10th ranked Michigan State will be at Minnesota. 16th ranked BYU at Oklahoma State. 20th ranked Clemson at Stanford, and 24th ranked Louisville, the Cardinals, hosting Notre Dame tonight. That's men's top 25. Lady Vols play tomorrow night. They're going to be on the road at Georgia tomorrow night. So, and the men, as we said, play on Saturday in Lexington against the Kentucky Wildcats. NASCAR starts it up tonight. I checked the weather forecast for Winston-Salem. It's supposed to be a 20% chance of rain tonight and 37 degrees when they drop the green flag at 6 o'clock. The Cookout Clash at Winston-Salem. It's been rescheduled twice because of weather. And so gates open at 12:30 today in Winston-Salem. There'll be people there, guarantee it. NASCAR Cup Series practice qualifying at 1:30 today. The last chance qualifier scheduled at 4:30 today, followed by the Cookout Clash at 6 tonight. Under the lights, 37 degrees when they drop the green flag, and a 20% chance of a mix of rain or snow. And at this point, the temperature for the start of the race tonight will be 37 degrees, so a little cool in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It is exciting for baseball because it's right around the corner. Again, pitchers and catchers report next week. In fact, the earliest reports will be next Tuesday for Major League Baseball, and we just happen to have them here. Who goes in next Tuesday? Pitchers and catchers for Arizona, the White Sox. That's out in the Cactus League, the Grapefruit League down in Florida. Atlanta, pitchers and catchers report Tuesday, as does Boston. And then everybody else, San Francisco and the Texas Rangers and Evan Carter report on Tuesday. Actually, he doesn't, pitchers and catchers. But he will report, along with all the other Rangers, on Sunday next week. So pitchers and catchers report basically next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Then the rest of the teams, full squad first workout, although they may already be there or be getting in there. But officially they don't start working out, most of them until Sunday and Monday and Tuesday of next week. So there you go. Think spring. We've got the baseball auction tomorrow night. Elizabethton High School in the Commons. The fundraiser for the baseball team. We'll be there for that. It's an honor to MC that event, and so we'll be there. Friday night, we've got basketball at Viking Hall in Bristol. And then Saturday, we've got basketball at Steve Lacy Fieldhouse, Milligan, and the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs are coming to town. So all that coming up. So we got basketball on Friday and Saturday, and then, as we said, next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So rest the voice. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Hello, George Young. Hello, Coach Steve Shipley. How you doing, sir? We'll be right back after this. You're watching show number 2440. We're on the road to Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton on People Street on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
It's an exciting Elizabethton Cyclone basketball doubleheader. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting you to join me this Friday night from Viking Hall in Bristol as the Cyclones travel to battle the Tennessee High Vikings. Lady Cyclones at 6:15, boys to follow, audio only. The Cyclones at Tennessee High. It all starts at 6:15 this Friday night here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube. Go Elizabethton Cyclone basketball.
Hey, it's your girl Mayani. A little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A Cobb salad is the chicken. Literally, the nuggets, they smack. When you put those nuggets in the salad, it just brings the salad to life. I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A market salad is that the chicken is super juicy and the apples can be a little tangy, also a little sweet as well. So there's just a ton of different flavors. It's just so good.
We have partnered with the best name brands in the business: Sealy, Tempur-Pedic, Simmons Beauty Rest, and Serta. We have the best selection of mattresses in the tri-state area. Plus, right now, get no interest for 48 months and free delivery, setup, and removal. Save store-wide at Cannon's Furniture in downtown Elizabethton.
In a world world where clutter, trash, and debris threaten your property, one man is ready to save the day. He's Container Man, your dumpster delivery superhero. Need to clear out your garage? Call Container Man. Remodeling your home? Call Container Man. Demolition waste taking over your job site? Call Container Man. From minor to major projects, Container Man has the perfect size dumpster for every task. With lightning fast delivery and the customer service of a locally owned company, he will help you restore order to your world. When you're ready to fight clutter, trash, and debris, call Container Man.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Hello, Johnny Markland. How you doing? Thank you for being with us. Again, basketball Friday night will be at Viking Hall, take on the Tennessee High Vikings, a rematch. We're going back through now. All the teams going through the second half of the season. Tournament's not that far away for all the schools, which is really hard to believe that basketball season's reached the point where the tournament's in a couple of weeks. We're talking about high school basketball. My man's in the house, Andrew Smith, sports writer, John City Press, Kingsport Times News, sporting a Nashville Predators ball cap today. He's in a hockey mood. Now, his beloved Braves will report pitchers and catchers will be next Tuesday, so it's here. Spring training for Major League Baseball, which tells you all this outside is going to go away at some point. Will be springtime, flowers will be blooming, warm temperatures, cool breeze. Yeah, spring in the mountains of East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, Western North Carolina, not that far away. Andrew Smith, who's going to win the Super Bowl? What's the latest on Joey Aguilar? What's his take on Amari Bailey, the guy petitioning the NCAA, who has played 10 games for the Charlotte Hornets? He wants to come back and play. Watched a clip last night. John Calipari was very adamant and animated about, no, once you leave, you leave. You can't come back. We're going to give you five. He had all the answers, really. I mean, it makes perfect sense. I'm going to try and get Kerry to rip that for me so I can show it to you tomorrow. We'll be at Poor Trav's Deli tomorrow. But Calipari got it right. I mean, I think he got it right. He said, I don't care if you're a Russian, American, if you've left. See, the Russians, Europeans now are saying, well, the rules apply just to American players. No, rules are rules. Whether you're from Korea, Russia, Poland, West Virginia, pick it. Wherever you're American, international player, rules are the rules to play college basketball. Calipari's point, I think, is well taken. So, anyway, we'll get my man's take on what he thinks about Amari Bailey. Polls are out this week. Basketball, Daniel Boone's ladies ranked third in the state, so they are having a year. And we'll see them on the makeup game on Wednesday of next week. So Monday will be at Crockett in the makeup. Tuesday we've got Westridge at home for senior night. Wednesday we'll be at Boone in the makeup. Friday of next week we'll be home to Westridge. And then Saturday we got the girls only against Dobbins Bennett. So RUB. Hello, Jerry and Carolyn Bruce. Sandra Richardson. That's a new name, I think. Thank you for watching. We will take a break. We will get him in here ready. We're going to put him to work. Yeah, it's time. He's got to work for his food, work for his meal. Andrew Smith, sports writer, John City Press, and next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Brumman Sports Shop in downtown Elizabeth with your favorite school's T-shirts, polos, or hoodies. They can put your school, church, or company's logo on lots of different styles of hats, including Nike and Richardson and now Travis Matthew. Windbreakers, sublimated shirts, pullovers, koozies. They can order for any area school and your favorite team. Dry fit sleeveless hoodies, Nike dry fit T-shirts, women's and toddler sizes. You can order any uniform for any sport, including the pants or shorts from Brumman Sports Shop. And they always have a clearance rack to save you money. Plaques, trophies, medals, and ribbons, and all the engraving is done in-house. And they offer hard-to-find Letterman jackets of your favorite school for guys, ladies, and now elementary and middle school athletes too. And they offer all the different sports patches as well. Brumman Sports Shop, downtown Elizabeth, and Facebook, Instagram, website, BrummanSportsShop.com, phone 542-2321, Brumman Sports Shop in downtown Elizabethton.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, our first guest, our buddy Andrew Smith, sporting a Predators ball cap. How you doing?
Doing pretty well. I was telling you there in the break, it's nice to have a small break at least for being cooped up in the house with the snow.
Absolutely. Out of the cabin, if you will, back out in civilization. And then we're supposed to get some more tonight, some kind of wintry weather. See, tonight's the kind of night I think you got to really pay attention because it's right there on the edge. It was almost on the edge last night. That rain could have very easily been snow, but they're calling for snow tonight. And so when they don't say it's going to be some mama jama snowstorm, that's when I go, uh-oh, better be paying attention to this one. So and not just going to be 2 or 3 feet or 10 inches of snow, but it could be, particularly in higher elevations, a little slick tonight trying to navigate around the roads, maybe here in the Tri-Cities too. So anyway, we do have snow. Got a lot of makeup basketball games, and you have a schedule of who all's playing tonight? Because it's
let's see here. I believe so. I can pull it up. I know I'm supposed to be, as things stand right now, at Unaka and Hampton tonight.
Ooh.
That'll be a big one down in District 1A.
That's at Unaka?
That is at Hampton.
At Hampton tonight.
They played a couple weeks ago in Snowy Creek. I think Hampton ended up winning the boys' game. Unaka won the girls. But tonight, West Ridge and Mo West, I believe, is tonight. Science Hill is hosting Morristown East. North Green, University High, Johnson County West Green, Providence, I believe, still at home against Corso Christian. So, yeah, moving parts over the place.
Yeah, part of it.
That's the way it goes.
You just go with the flow, son.
Shoot, just before I walked in here, Gate City and Rye Cove moved their games that were tonight to elsewhere.
Yep.
So, yeah, we just kind of roll with the punches and figure things out from there.
Oh, yeah. It's wintertime in Appalachia. It happens. Slick roads, wintry nights. Got to change games for the safety of the fans. Been doing this too many years. Like, okay, just go with it. So next week, enjoying this week off, not doing many games. We're not doing any at all till Friday night. But next week, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Is what it is, part of it. And it may come a snowstorm, that change all that next week. You just deal with it. So I have learned, my father used to tell us, it was good advice to heed. I didn't at the time, but he would say, boys, control what you can control. That's probably about the best piece of advice I've ever gotten. Control what you can control. So we'll do the games when they're doing them. But tonight, Hampton, Unaka at Hampton. That's a big one.
That is a big one. They're Hampton undefeated in conference play on the boys' side. Unaka just one loss, and it was to Hampton. So that'll be a big one on the girls' side. The Unaka Lady Rangers, led by Michelle Shields, trying to stay right in the hunt of the conference race there. Them, Cloudland, and North Green all, I think, are 3-1 in league play. So certainly don't want to lose games to not the very top of the conference, but Coach Humphrey will have that Hampton team ready to go. They are not never going to be an easy team to play over there.
I'd say the place will be packed tonight. Would that be a fair statement?
I would think so. I think folks that can safely get out and attend should absolutely do it. Should be a fun game tonight.
Yep, guarantee it'll be standing room only at Hampton tonight. And of course, they're back in the regular gym. They've been there for a couple of weeks now, which is great.
Yeah, no, it's very cool to see them back there after everything that community has went through over the past year and change.
Amen. We're here live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on People Street, right down from Best Buy. Show number 2440. We're on our way to 2,500 shows, which is a pretty cool thing. It's our anniversary month. 11 years been doing this. So we're at 2,440 shows. So we're 60 out, which puts us mid-May probably, thereabouts, for the show number 2,500, which we're very excited about. But that's down the road. All right, Joey Aguilar files a suit against the NCAA, wants a year of eligibility back. What's your take on that? And Bediako from Alabama, what's your take on him? And now the new guy's Amari Bailey from UCLA that went to the NBA and played 10 games with the Hornets. He wants another year of eligibility reinstated, suing the NCAA. So what's your take on all these lawsuits?
Yeah, I'll start with the Joey Aguilar case because it's the one I'm most familiar with. Actually, this morning, Adam Sparks of Knox News Sentinel broke that a temporary restraining order has been issued in that case. So for the next couple of days, he technically has eligibility. But things are moving quickly. The court case will be on Friday is in Knox County, where he'll be looking for a preliminary injunction. If he gets that preliminary injunction, he will get his year of eligibility that he's seeking. And the whole premise of the argument is similar to the Diego Pavia case in that the plaintiff, aka Joey Aguilar, and his attorney is arguing that JUCO years should not count against a player's NCAA eligibility.
Right.
It's been that way for forever. But their argument is, hey, these are not member institutions of the NCAA, so why do their eligibility rules apply to the NCAA? And because of that, Joey has only played 3 years of NCAA ball, and he had a few years of JUCO ball before that. So I think that is a feasible case for him to win. I think that given the precedent of the Diego Pavia case from last year, which that will be heard next week in full, but I think given that precedent, it's somewhat likely that you will see Joey Aguilar come back. As this thing has drug on, I've kind of gained a little bit more confidence that he will be able to return. And obviously, I think Tennessee would certainly welcome him back with open arms.
It's a game changer for me.
Yeah, because you look elsewhere at that quarterback room, it's George McIntyre, Faison Brandon, and Ryan Staub. Yeah, I think you absolutely would take Joey Aguilar back in a heartbeat.
He was the number 1 passer in the SEC last year. I keep going back to that. Better than Stockton. Better than Ty Simpson. Thank you. Better than Trinidad Chambliss. He was the number 1 quarterback in the SEC. Over 3,500 yards. 3rd best in a single season in Tennessee history. I mean, that's something. I mean, to walk in and do what he did, it took over that team and, became their leader. To get him back 1 more year on a team that's got a murderer's row schedule coming up, their schedule's really tough. And so 8-5 last year, which ain't going to cut it this year at 8-5, I don't think. So, yeah, they need Joey Aguilar back. So he has a temporary restraining order right now, so that means he can go into practice and do whatever for a couple of days.
I mean, I think technically, although I don't know if he's even going to be doing that, I think the target date for him, based on the complaint that was filed earlier this week, was the start of spring ball in mid-March. In that complaint, Aguilar asked, hey, can this thing move quickly? Or he and his attorney asked, hey, can this move quickly? That way I can know whether I need to be preparing for spring ball or preparing for the NFL.
Draft. Yeah.
So I expected things to move within the next couple of weeks. I had not expected all to be moving this week. So that has caught me slightly off guard.
So what does a temporary restraining order do? So if he can't practice or he's a little hesitant to go practice, and it's a temporary restraining order until he goes and gets the injunction, and then the hearing's going to be Friday. So to me, it's
basically
they put a step
given how short of a time frame we're working with here, it doesn't do all that much.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's just a step in a formal step in the process of the case.
Yeah.
But in terms of feasibility of doing stuff, there's not really a ton you can do in the next 2 days anyway before the case in Knox County on Friday.
So what gets him on the let me just cut to the chase here. Again, we're talking to our buddy Andrew Smith, Sports Writer, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. We're here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on People Street. You can tell school's out again in Johnson City, and a lot of the systems around here in close proximity are out of school today. Washington County, Johnson City, so seeing more and more youngins in there having lunch. That's great. So what gets him on the field practicing with the Tennessee Volunteers? The hearing on Friday, if that goes through?
The hearing, everything should be settled by Friday. And what they're searching for is just a preliminary injunction.
Yeah.
If the judge issues that preliminary injunction, that will give Joey his year kind of, whatever there. And if he gets that, he's in the clear. Kind of an interesting tidbit, and part of the reason why I don't think that Joey's necessarily looking to practice today or wherever. He's not enrolled at UT right now. He'd finished up his fall classes and whatever. Mm-hmm. But UT offers these mini terms. Basically, think about it in like high school or grade school terms, quarters of every 9 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, these first 9 weeks he's not in, but in mid-March, it opens up post-spring break for the second half of the semester. Joey can re-enroll and take some classes to be eligible that way as well. But yeah, I think that's also part of the reason of why he's not necessarily jumping right in to winter workouts or whatever, because he technically still needs to go to class.
In theory.
In theory,
Yeah.
he's got to go to class. At least have classes on his schedule.
There
And
you
he's
go.
not technically a student
Yeah.
there right now. So, part of the clarification on that as well.
Yep. So Friday's the big date for Tennessee football, and I would think everybody that's in the Big Orange Country is going to be cheering this goes through because it's again, it's a game changer. You bring him back for another year, and you get a chance to develop Brandon, the true freshman quarterback. McIntyre's there as a backup. The Staub kid came over from Colorado. I don't know what his numbers are, but he left Dion to come to Knoxville. So, but he's a body. I don't know how good he is. I guess he's okay. He's adequate, I would say, not knowing anything about him. But you bring Aguilar back, it's a game changer, in my opinion. You got the guy, again, I go back to this, as good as the SEC was this year with all the great quarterbacks in the league, guy was number one in the league in passing. That speaks volumes to me. So even with an offensive line that was shaky at best at times for Tennessee, he still was able to throw for over 3,500 yards and 24 touchdowns. So getting Aguilar back would be huge. We'll find out Friday. Part of what Calipari was talking about in that, and I got to get that and play that tomorrow. It was really, really good. Part of what he was talking about was that very topic is that, and part of the argument is with these guys going to the NCAA saying, look, if you don't let me play, you're denying me a chance to make big money, and they are with NIL. But then Calipari came back and said in his post-conference, they said a rant. I don't think it was a rant. I think it was very spot on. Some of the media guys, well, he was on a rant. I thought he was. Anyway, so he said these guys are making $800,000, $4 million, huge money. He said, but here's what happens. Some of them run through it. They can't monitor and take care of their money. They blow it, run through it. Then they get out of run out of time out of playing basketball. They don't have a college degree because they didn't go to class. They just came to school to play basketball. He said, we're doing these kids a great disservice, and now they've got to deal with life, and they have no money, and they have no job, and they have no college degree to go get a job, which makes perfect sense. So the importance of these guys, the point of what I'm saying is that he's exactly right. They're just there it's like a basketball or football factory or whatever. Aguilar will get back into class, allegedly. I mean, some of these guys, by their own admission, said, we don't go to class. We just show up for basketball or football practice or class. We don't do class. And they're making millions of dollars. Why would they go to class? But that's, they don't see the forest for the trees. It's temporary. You can't, you're going to say, well, Tom, I made $5 million. I'd be set. Most would. A lot of these guys aren't because they blow their money, they don't invest it, and what have you. So Calipari's point's well taken, which really has nothing to do with what you're talking about, but he was spot on about the state of the Union of college athletics. So Aguilar, I said this yesterday when I was at home in the studio, Aguilar is going to get his green light to play. Trinidad Chambliss is going to get his green light to play. Who's the other one? Bediako will he'll finish out the season playing for Alabama. And then you got this guy, Amari Bailey, who, again, has played 10 games with the Hornets in the NBA and left UCLA, declared for the 2023 draft, played 10 games, bounced around a little bit, didn't get a whole lot, averaged 2 points a game in those 10 games. He wants to come back. He's suing the NCAA. Does he get that? Do you let him do it or not?
No. To me, the likes of Joey Aguilar, Diego Pavia, those are different than Charles Bediako, Amari Bailey. They are completely different minds. Now, people have been going back and forth on this on Twitter and wherever, but to me, the JUCO guys, I still don't necessarily fully agree with, you're still playing college ball at the JUCO level, but I at least understand the point they're making. I at least can understand how you can rationally get to the point of, those guys can still play NCAA ball, even if they've played a couple years of JUCO and they still have 4 years, whatever. I at least get that. Bediako, Bailey, those guys went to play in the NBA. They signed a piece of paper that said, I will forego my eligibility to go try and play professionally.
Amen. Real simple. You give up your rights.
You give up your rights to go back and play in college. So,
And you knew that because you knowingly have to sign a piece of paper to exit out. So you know when you signed the paper that I'm giving up my rights to play in college and will take my shot in the NBA.
and sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's okay. It happens. We live and we learn and we figure out and we adapt and well, yeah. So it's I'm not sure how those cases will go. I'm not as familiar with those. I'm not sure. I'm not as confident in necessarily the judicial system in those and how they would read the complaints and all of that. But my gut feeling says if you go play pro ball at any level, you're done with college ball. You're done. You can't go back. It's over.
Well, yeah. I mean, why would you? See, I don't even understand how they're entertaining the idea.
Because I think the big thing is the NIL money that you can get is more than whatever their Exhibit 10 deal, G League deal.
Absolutely.
That's
money.
where it all comes from.
Oh, yeah. It's all about the money. Absolutely. No question. Unequivocally, that's where it's at. And the biggest guys are going to benefit from this. I'm not sure who told me this. Was it you or Birchfield? Maybe it was you last week.
I think it's talking college baseball
about
guys?
baseball.
Yeah. I mentioned that last
You're
week.
Spot on. Man, you graduate from college, get drafted, and you're riding around on buses in AA and single A baseball and even AAA. I mean, you know, they don't get paid a lot of money. You're in hotels, riding buses. Okay, I used to call games in minor league baseball. It's get on those buses and ride for hours, and you think you're never going to get there. And then so I get it. So you're not making a whole lot of money, so you take that versus, okay, if I can go back to college where I was a big man on campus and, you know, I had fun playing college. This is more like a job. You don't get paid a whole lot. Well, sure. I think the baseball guys will benefit more if this goes through to just have a blanket wild, wild west. Anybody wants to come back and play, come on back and play. The people who will pay for this are high school kids. They'll never get a chance to be recruited, at least on the big boy level. Maybe, you know, the Milligans and the Kings and NAIs and D2, D3s. But the big boys will guarantee you, and Calipari said this, he said, I have a 27, 28-year-old kid that's played 2 or 3 years experience under his belt, either overseas or G League or wherever, versus a high school freshman coming in that's untapped, has lots of potential, but these guys have played it, and they are playing it. He said, I'm going to go with the older guys. He said, I'm not. I'm going to keep recruiting high school kids. But he said a lot of the coaches would go with the older guys, and the high school kids will never get a look. And he's right. They won't get a look, which is very unfair. But he said, like you said, if you sign that piece of paper, it says, I'm going to walk away from my case. My school's Marshall. I'm going to leave Marshall. I'm going to try my luck, if you will, in the NBA. Then once I've signed that paper, I'm leaving Marshall. I can't come back. I can't go out there and go, well, you know, you can't have your cake and eat it too. But we're in a society that when it's all about me, I'm going to get what I want, and the squeaky wheel gets the grease. That's what's happening. So Aguilar, we'll find out Friday whether he plays. For Tennessee fans, I just think it's – and he's also come out and said if he wins this, he is coming back to Tennessee instead of shopping himself somewhere else. Because you guarantee you – I'll guarantee you, rather, that he will get looks if he hadn't already. I mean, he's the number 1 quarterback in the SEC last year. You don't think it wouldn't get somebody's attention for him to go somewhere else? Here's a guy just walked in with a sweatshirt on Wake Forest. I'll use that as an example. You don't think Wake Forest or somebody wouldn't want a Joey Aguilar, the number 1 quarterback in the SEC last year? Well, sure. So then it becomes, I think, once he gets that green light Friday, I think his phone's going to blow up. These other schools are going to go, hey, you know, what's Tennessee paying you? It becomes a sweepstakes. Am I right?
And I can tell you, based on the complaint that ended up getting public records request and ended up coming out, the complaint said that Joey not only has a roster spot, like Josh Heupel has kept a roster spot open, approximately $2 million in NIL money for him to come back as well. So you know what your baseline price is if you're a Wake Forest, if you're whoever, if you're trying and pry him away, which honestly I don't see it happening.
No, I don't know.
I don't see it happening at all because, you know, you filed the case in Knox County, you know, you've showcased a willingness to be with Tennessee. I don't see him going anywhere else.
No.
But it's also public what that number would be to even try and enter the bidding war.
Yeah. So I'm sitting out there with $4 million in my pocket going, okay, Joey, Heupel wants you back for 2. I've got 4. What do you want to do? And you're going to walk in and start in my team because we need a proven, and that's the key, a proven quarterback. And certainly Aguilar is that. So I would think the bidding war would begin. It's all on how bad he wants to stay at Tennessee. If this goes through on Friday, and I would sit here in this chair today on Wednesday, Feb 4, and tell you that it's going to go through. And so he'll be back with Tennessee if he wants to be, or wherever he wants to go. I hope he comes back to Tennessee because they could with that quarterback, Brandon's going to be a dandy, but he's a freshman. And I don't care how good he is, you're not going to walk in on your freshman year. If you can come in next year and start and be successful in the SEC as a true freshman, then you ain't going to be there long. The NFL is going to eat you up and scoop you up and say, man, if you can do it at Tennessee and the SEC as a freshman, we're going to throw all kinds of money at you to come to the NFL early. Guarantee it. So I don't see him playing other than spot duty here and there. Of course, I'm not a coach. I'm just a sitting there broadcaster. But I just think Aguilar is a big key to next year's season for the Tennessee Vols. Men's basketball team, big win last night, beat Georgia. Beat Ole Miss. The Lady Vols go to Georgia tomorrow night. They got shellacked by UConn. But, again, I read Facebook. They're all over her. She can't coach. She's not Pat Summitt. So unfair. And I'm a big fan of Kim Caldwell, so I'll tell you that right up front. So I'm going to defend her to the hilt because I think she can coach. Plus, she's a West Virginia girl, and so we take care of our own hillbillies up there. But getting beat by UConn on their floor, the number 1 team in the country, we beat them down here last year. I know all that, but it's a different team. They're a different team. But everybody's all upset about Kim Caldwell. She can't coach. She's not Pat Summitt. There is not going to be another Pat Summitt. There has been only one forever, and a person the likes of Pat Summitt in many ways. So if you're looking for a Pat Summitt, it's like when what's-his-name took over for Alabama for Saban. DeBoer. There ain't no Nick Saban. He ain't going to be another. There is no. So, okay, your take on the Lady Vols.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would have liked to have seen a better show. There was a tied game at halftime of that Connecticut game, and it just got away so fast from them. Now, this might be the best UConn team Gino's had in a while, and that's saying something because Gino's had some incredible teams in recent memory. This is right up there with them. So, going up there and losing, not necessarily the biggest deal, but I think the biggest thing is you compound that with the Mississippi State loss last week, right? It's starting to, red flags and, panic, whatever. Chill out. There's still about a month till tournament time. There's enough time to tweak some things, figure some things out, and get ready for the tournament. Because that's ultimately where, the biggest deal is going to come from is what you do in the tournament. So, I understand some frustration, but I'm not quite going to panic. I'm not, calling for anything. Just relax. Aaron Rodgers, RELAX, relax.
That's it. It is a pivotal game tomorrow night. I think you'll see a different team going to Georgia for the Lady Vols. And then Saturday, I think it's Saturday or over the weekend, they go to South Carolina to wrap up this very tough 3-game road trip to UConn, Georgia, which is not easy, down in Athens, and then play at South Carolina in Columbia. So, but the Lady Vols, I think tomorrow night you'll see a different team. You better see a different team because you stunk it up in the second half of Mississippi State. You ran out of gas against UConn there. And I understand it's a young basketball team, but then people tell me, well, Tom, they're in the game number 19 or 20. They're not freshmen anymore. Well, they are. They're still freshmen. Now, come tournament time, no. But they're still trying to learn each other right now, and I get that. Not only the Lady Vols, but all these teams. The men's team's starting to figure each other out. I mean, it takes a while to mesh these guys. When you the transfer portal, you bring them in, and you learn them, and they learn you, and you learn them. And so it takes a while to get it rolling. So Lady Vols tomorrow night at Georgia. Men on Saturday in Lexington against the Wildcats will be a big one on Saturday night at Rupp Arena. So that'll be a biggie for the men's team for sure. NBA drafts or trades rather. What's the big trades right now? Who are the biggies?
So last night, James Harden got traded. He's heading to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Clippers got back Darius Garland and the second-round pick, effectively just a one-for-one player swap, because second-round picks in the NBA, they don't mean a heck of a lot. They mean something, but not a heck of a lot. Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Grizzlies got traded. It was an 8-player trade between them and the Jazz. On top of 4 players the Grizzlies got over there in Memphis. So those are the 2 big ones. Let's see here. Nikola Vucevic for Anthony Simons yesterday. Bulls, Celtics. Another small Bulls trade, too, was in there. So it took a while for things to start moving. They're starting to move a little bit. And obviously now all eyes are on Milwaukee, whether the Bucks will move Giannis Antetokounmpo this deadline or not.
What do you think?
I don't see it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think I think they'll wait till the offseason to finally put a resolve to this thing. I don't think that there's a team out there, maybe Minnesota, but other than that, I don't know if there's a team out there that can put together a good enough package that Milwaukee would be willing to accept right here at the deadline.
The Warriors talking about trading Draymond Green. Who in the world would want this guy? I mean, he's an incredible talent, but he stays in trouble. He's a technical machine. He gets teased all the time. Would you take a chance on Draymond Green on your team? Yes, you would.
I don't know. It would depend on what the trade package would be. I'm not outright saying no, but it would take I wouldn't want to give up the farm for an older Draymond Green, for sure.
Well, he's older, but for my money, the guy's, I guess I'd call him a head guy. I don't know if I'd call him he just stays in trouble. He's always getting technicals. When he focuses and plays, he's a pretty good player. But you never know what you're going to get from night to night. What's going to set him off and get a tee and start getting all wild and woolly, if you will. So, anyway, the big guy from the Bucks.
Oh, Giannis?
Giannis, yeah.
I don't think Golden State can make that trade happen. I just don't see it.
Who's the best team in the NBA right now?
Probably still Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City?
I'd give it Oklahoma City right now, but funnily enough, if they took on the Spurs in a playoff series, I think that's the one team that I feel confident could beat the Thunder in a playoff series to San Antonio.
There you go. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll get his take on the Super Bowl right after this from Chick-fil-A on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie is delicious.
My name is Meredith, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese is the oven-toasted, cheesy top layer. If home had a flavor, it would be Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese. I'm passionate about it.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Good luck to T.A. Duggar tonight. They're on the road at Sevier County in the basketball boys regional. So good luck to the Cyclones of Gary Harrison's done a great job in his first year coaching at T.A. Duggar. So Super Bowl, Patriots, Seahawks, you take who and why?
I'm taking Seattle.
Yep.
I feel more confident in them than I do New England. I think this will be more of a defensive kind of game. I foresee it somewhere in the 24-20 kind of score. I think that there's just a little too much on the Seattle offense between Jackson Smith and Jigba, Rashid Shaheed, Kenneth Walker in the running game. I think that they do just enough on offense to squeak out the Super Bowl and get revenge for the Malcolm Butler interception.
So you're taking
I'm
Seahawks.
taking Seattle.
And a close one.
I'm taking Seattle in a close defensive game.
Yep. I'm right there with you. I'm taking the Seahawks. Success. Patriots coach done a heck of a job this year. It's a great success story. But I just think when it comes right down to it, you're going to see Seahawks prevail. Defense is going to win it for you. Their defense is lights out. I had the stats yesterday on the show. When they force him to start throwing the football, he doesn't do well. So He is an interception machine, so if they can get him down to they're behind and playing catch-up and got to throw the ball, he's very susceptible to being picked off. So, and I think Seattle's defense, and I think Sam Darnold, I just think the Seahawks will win the game. So, and their offensive coordinator is going to be the new coach of the Raiders. So I'm pretty excited about that, Clint Kubiak. So, anyway, you got the Seahawks 24-20.
Seahawks 24-20.
All right. Your boys, next week we come talk. There'll be the pitchers and catchers will have reported next Tuesday for the Atlanta Braves. So spring training right around the corner. We're excited about that. Get you some lunch, youngin'.
All righty.
And covering those basketball games, we'll see, I'm sure, at some point our paths will cross. We've got a lot of games to do before the tournament starts, makeups. Some big games tonight. We'll tell you about who wins those tomorrow. But for now, we're going to let him go. We're going to take a break, and we've got the man over here. Axel Steins will shine next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Tom Taylor Sports Show. A lot of jewelry stores. Why should we trade any time of the year at the Jewelers Bench?
Well, because you get customer service. We're there to help and with anything you need. You get personal service. Anytime that you need to talk to the jeweler, he's there to talk. And we treat you like family.
Yep. You're not just another person coming in. You actually take interest in these people.
We do.
Yep.
We do, and it means a lot.
Absolutely. And you're typically open 6 days a week.
Yes.
And so 7 days you're closed to be the Lord's Day. So how do we find you on Facebook?
So we're Jewelers Bench on Facebook and Instagram, and then we have a website, jewelersbenchtn.com.
And the magic phone number, just to call them.
Is 423-542-5600.
Call them anytime. They're there, and you'll get a live body.
Yep.
Great sponsor of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports, the great folks at the Jewelers Bench in Elizabethton.
It's an exciting Elizabethton Cyclone basketball doubleheader. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting you to join me this Friday night from Viking Hall in Bristol as the Cyclones travel to battle the Tennessee High Vikings. Lady Cyclones at 6:15, boys to follow, audio only. The Cyclones at Tennessee High. It all starts at 6:15 this Friday night here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube. Go Elizabethton Cyclone basketball.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, Axel Steins.
Shines.
You got it. What'd you have to eat?
12 nuggets.
12 nuggets.
2 fries.
2
and
fries.
A large sweet tea.
Large tea.
Woo, Nelly.
Woo, Nelly. I didn't realize he's got to get to practice. I didn't realize he's on his way to basketball practice. So I got to get him in, get him out, get him on down the road. All right, all this snow, did you go outside and play in the snow?
Yes, I did.
Did you sled ride?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you make snowballs? Did you throw
wish
snowballs?
I could, but I just threw them.
You threw them? Oh, yeah. Did you make a snowman?
I did not.
No. But you sled rode.
Yeah, but I also made a snow angel, too.
You made a snow angel.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So Axel's enjoying the snow like a lot of folks did. School's out again today.
Yeah, like 5 days in a row I've been out. Like Saturday, Sunday last week, Monday, Tuesday, and now Wednesday. Ooh, doggies.
There you go.
And with more snow coming in tonight, it looks like I may get Thursday and Friday off.
Well, we'll see. We are supposed to get some more snow tonight. So
Yeah.
So give us the updated schedule. You know the schedule. So we got basketball when?
Yeah. So starting this Friday night down at Viking Hall in Bristol, against the Tennessee High Vikings for a big Upper Lakes Conference showdown.
Oh, yes.
With Coach Honeycutt against Coach McMeans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That'll be down at Viking Hall in Bristol, weather permitting, though.
Right.
Yeah. And then next week, February 10th, at home against Unicoi County. And then next Friday night, next Friday at home against Westridge for the boys' final home game of the regular season. And then Valentine's Day, the 14th, the boys will be at Happy Valley, while the girls get Dobbins Bennett at John Treadway Gymnasium. And then Monday, February of 16th, we get Crockett at Crockett. And then Wednesday, February 18th, I believe that should be our final game of the regular season, on the road at Daniel Boone in Gray.
So these makeup games are not next week, but the week after next.
Yes.
Monday the 16th and Wednesday the 18th.
Yes, heading into the district tournament this year at Sullivan East.
Sullivan East, you got it.
The Cyclones right now, both ladies and the guys at 4-1, doing our best so far.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Of course, Tennessee High just lost to Crockett the other night, 69-62. That was a good game.
Yep, it was a good game.
Yeah, so they're 3-1 for Friday night. We're 4-1.
Yep, Cyclone boys are 4-1.
Yeah.
Cyclone girls are 4-1.
Yep.
Yep, we're both doing very, very well right now. So Friday night at Tennessee High.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, Tuesday, Unicoi home. Next Friday, Westridge home. Then the following week, we get those road games in the tournament. Oh, boy.
Ooh, Nelly.
Ooh, Nelly. All right, you got to get back to practice. I didn't know you would get you over so you're not in trouble. You have to run laps. So he is the manager of the boys basketball team at Elizabethton. So you go. That's a shot. There you go. What's it say on the back of your shirt? It says, it's a miss. That's a miss. That's the other team's.
All the other teams. Yeah.
Other team's missing.
That we play every time. Sometimes every year, too.
You got it. All right. I'm glad you came by. You're back to school tomorrow, I'd say, unless it snows tonight.
Yeah.
You want to be off again tomorrow, too?
Yeah, if I had to guess, snow or no snow tomorrow, I'll come see you again.
Yeah, we'll be at Poor Trav's Deli.
The best steamed sandwich in the Tri-Cities, bar none.
Bar none, you got it.
Yeah, and then Friday, Food City and Gray.
Yep. Pals forever.
Forever and ever.
Our buddies, same hats.
Yeah, matching hats on.
Matching hats. There we go. All right, get to practice. You don't get in trouble. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I don't want to get him in trouble. I have to run laps.
Go Cyclones.
Go Cyclones. Mr. Baseball's next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on People Street, right down from Best Buy's where we are, on show number 2,440. Whoa.
On our way to 2,500 shows.
And he'll be there on that show. If there's anybody else going to be on that show,
place to be determined.
You got it. Axel Steins will be there. We hit show 2,500 in 60 shows. So there you go.
Yep.
All right, get the ball practice. We'll be right back. Mr. Baseball's next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
It's an exciting Milligan University basketball doubleheader. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting to join me this Saturday from Steve Lacy Fieldhouse as the Buffaloes entertain their rival, the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs, out of Athens, Tennessee. Airtime at 1:45 with the Lady Buffs, men to follow, audio and video. Milligan University basketball hosting Tennessee Wesleyan. It all starts at 1:45 this Saturday here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube. Go Milligan University basketball. Tell us why. A lot of real estate companies out there. Why David Collins and Collins and Company?
Well, we service before and after the sale. I think that's a big thing. And follow through on phone calls. I think, and I have a lot of people just comment on how professional our website is, how professional our agents are, and what we do, and how we follow through with things. For instance, I'm not telling the name of a real estate company or anything like that. That's had a buyer that bought one of our houses through another agency, and she just called me. She said, my agent didn't show up at closing, didn't bring me any keys, we didn't do a final walkthrough. That's pretty sad. And, you know, I just want to let folks know, you come here, you're going to get service, you know, follow through. We're going to work through with you, follow you through the process, help you through the process. You don't have a lender. We've got lenders we recommend. Attorneys for closing we recommend. And you get full service here.
End of story. Full service. Phone number to call?
423-543-5741.
A 97% closing ratio, folks. Collins and Company, great sponsor of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Elizabethton Cyclone Sports. Double C Western Supply in Elizabethton, your Cowboy store, and so much more. We have shoes and boots for guys and gals. We have kids' boots and shoes for the little people, too. Ball caps, Marriott Wrangler, a large selection of Huey. We have purses, billfolds, handbags. We carry a full line of Montana Silversmith jewelry. We have both Lane Frost and Huey cologne and perfumes. We even have several styles of rugs to choose from, and a large kids section full of boots and shoes and jeans and dresses and even stuffed animals. And jeans, and more jeans, both work and casual for guys and gals. Ariat and Wrangler in all sizes and styles. T-shirts for men, women, and kids. For cold weather, we have fleece tops and sweaters. And racks full of men's shirts, including the George Strait line from Wrangler. Short sleeve and long sleeve shirts for men and women. Vests and jackets for the cold days and nights for the guys and the ladies. We have a full line of tack and cowboy hats for cowboys and cowgirls, along with belts and a great selection of saddles. So you see, it is a cowboy store and more. Double C Western Supply, Railroad Street, Elizabethton. Find us on Facebook and at doublecwesternsupply.com. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Let's do the verse of the day. He's here. Mr. Baseball's in the house. We haven't done our verse of the day yet. We always dedicate our show to the man that hung on the cross, and folks out there, they want to hear this every day, which I appreciate. So, and it's like you talk about the Lord on your show.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Are you going to stop? No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. So, here we go. Psalms 27:1 says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" Then I added, fear turns our focus away from the Lord and towards the troubles that intimidate us. We need to look at our fears as opportunities to rely on the Lord for his help, his guidance, and his saving power. Remember this, no problem is too big for the Lord, who promises to save us and be with us in the midst of harm. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for loving us that much. That's pretty nice, something you can hang your hat on, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty
absolutely.
comforting. So, is your mother watching?
She's watching, yeah.
Tom, you're so goofy. Yeah,
I'd
I
already
know.
read that this morning because you sent it to me.
Yep.
So I had read that.
Yep.
But it's funny, you talk about show and doing verses and all that. It's your show. You can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I used to go to this barber shop over in North Carolina when I lived over there. Guy's name was Bob. And Bob was in his mid to late 80s back then. And we're talking, gosh, this was 17, 18 years ago. So I'm sure Bob's with the Lord now. But
Yeah.
but he had this barber shop, and he always had this huge nativity scene that he put out at Christmas time. So he had this guy come in one day, and I'm sitting in there waiting, and he's cutting somebody else's hair, and this guy walks in and starts throwing off on his nativity scene. He said, "Why do you have that? You're a public place. You shouldn't have that." He said, "This is my barber shop.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, you can go somewhere else." And he went and held the door open for him.
Did he leave?
Yeah, he left.
He left? There you go. Well, my theory is this. Of course, you're a pastor, and so my theory is this. For all he's done for me and continues to do for me, and I don't deserve any of it,
Yeah.
the least I can do is take what I just I'm not a preacher, don't pretend to be. I'm not going to preach to you. I'm not going to preach at you. Just tell you how it is, because everybody's dealing with something. So I do these verses purely for a source of encouragement. So I'm not going to stop because people tell me they like it. I'm not pretending to be a preacher. I'm not.
And
He
you,
is. I'm
and you
not.
send it to me every day.
Yeah.
And
6 days a week.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well,
I
you're
do.
welcome. It's up to almost, it's not quite 600 we do a day. So.
Wow.
And it goes message and messenger. Phones are wacky. Sometimes I send them out. People say, "I get them on both." I said, because I don't know which one's working. Some days one's working, and some days the other one. And when I go to ask the phone people, they always give me that stupid line. Drives me nuts. It's technology. That don't cut it. It's got to be better than that. But
Yeah.
anyway.
I didn't get the text message today, but I got it on Messenger.
Messenger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually I get it. I usually read it on text message.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's why we do it. So you get a Bible verse from me. I ain't Billy Graham or Charles Stanley trying to be. Just sending out a Bible verse to encourage you, because you're probably dealing with something that you don't know how to handle it, as we all are. And so it's just, as I said, a source of encouragement and comfort. So we're here live again. I'm not sure if anyone turn around and look. Yep. They dropped the trays. And that's okay. It's all right. So Mom's watching.
Yeah, she's watching.
Yeah. So we got lots to cover. Here we go.
Mr. Baseball's in the house. Pitchers and catchers. I had the sheet earlier. As early as next Tuesday, the Braves go in. Pitchers and catchers. So everybody's in next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then next weekend, full workout. Our first spring training games are on the 20th, so it's here.
Yeah.
What's today, the 4th?
Yeah.
We're talking 16 days, we start spring training baseball.
Yeah, can't wait.
So all this garbage out here is going to eventually go away. Summer breeze, spring breeze, sun, warm, no snow, no fog, no chance of snow tonight. So it's here. Spring training is here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 6, 7 guys out there that are still hanging. So here we go. What's your take on Framber Valdez? Where's he headed?
Man, I still keep saying Baltimore. He's got a connection with the GM there from his Astros days. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. Just get it done. You know, and I don't know if they're even trying, but you would think they are.
Yeah.
You would think both of them would like to be there. You know, he could slip in at the front of that rotation, and that could be a big boost for the Baltimore Orioles. That's really where I think he'll end up. I really do, and I've been saying that for months, I think. But you know, I mean, watch him sign with the Braves today or something right after we go off the air. But
the Padres.
Yeah, or somebody like that. But I'm just thinking Baltimore is the most logical spot for him.
Yep, hope so.
Yeah.
I have acquired a taste of the Orioles. You know, I looked at my wardrobe during the snowstorm. I thought, Cyclones orange and black, Milligans orange and black. The Orioles are orange and black.
There you
so
go.
I'm color coding my team. I'm going to go with the Orioles. And then the Redlegs, wow, they get Suarez. That's big, isn't it?
That was huge. Yeah, that was a big move for the Reds. That gives the Reds fans a little bit of hope. I was sitting at my father-in-law's house, and my daughter saw it on her phone, and she says, "Daddy, the Reds just signed Eugenio Suarez." And I said, "No way." And she said, "Yeah, they did." And I said, "Oh, my goodness."
Yeah.
So I was with all three of my daughters when that happened, and we were
Giggling.
rejoicing. Yeah, because that is a huge bat in the middle of that lineup. He's going to slide into that number 4 spot, you know, and he will make a huge difference for that team this year.
So these are the guys who are still out there. Valdez, I'm surprised he's still there, but he is.
Yeah.
Southpaws are a premium, and a quality southpaw pitcher, starting pitcher, is a real premium, and most teams could use one, including the Braves. Zach Gallen, what about him? Where's he headed?
Yeah, it just makes too much sense for him to go to the Braves. That's what I keep saying. Braves, reach out and get this guy. I mean, he is a proven arm. He's a guy that will come in and probably fit in like third slot in your rotation, but you need somebody in there that's going to eat up a lot of innings, and he's that kind of guy, and he's a valuable pitcher. I'm surprised he's still out there.
Chris Bassett.
Yeah, so I still think he may end up back with Toronto. I really do. I don't know. Maybe they're not even talking. I don't know, but it just seems like it's a great fit for him, and I don't know if he was so valuable to that team as both a starter and a long man out of the bullpen. They used him in almost every possible pitching scenario last year, and he was lights out. I mean, he performed well in every situation that you could imagine a pitcher to be in. So I think he's a really valuable guy. If Toronto doesn't re-sign him, somebody needs to go out and get him.
I keep thinking he's going to go to the Braves. I don't know why.
Well, and he might be the guy the Braves are looking at instead of Gallen. And you know, like I said, Bassett is a valuable pitcher. He really is. He's a guy he doesn't care what his role is, and that's rare these days. Most of these guys say, "Well, I'm the closer. I'm the 8th inning setup man," who want to be closers, or you know, they want to be a starter. He will perform wherever you put him in. He's a competitor, and he just wants to get in there and throw the ball.
Just wants to play.
Yeah, that's him.
He wants to contribute.
Yeah, I like the guy a lot.
Lucas Giolito.
Yeah, so he could go a lot of places. I think there's a lot of teams still in on Lucas Giolito, and I'll be honest, this sounds kind of crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the White Sox go after him again. They had him, and they've made some pretty decent moves. They really have. Now they're not going to be in the World Series. I'm not that delusional, but they've made some moves, and I could see them going after a frontline starter like Lucas Giolito to move them up a notch or two. I could see them doing it.
Which division are we picking today, by the way?
Oh, National League East.
Oh, boy.
Which,
NL East.
yeah, and I'm
Ooh,
clueless.
boy.
I am clueless on a couple of these.
NL East. I love it. All right, so
Yeah.
you go Zach Lytle. Is that how you
Oh,
say
Zach
it?
Littell.
Littell?
Littell, yeah.
Zach Littell.
So he was a trade deadline guy last year, came over to the Reds from the Rays, performed quite well. He was solid. He really was when he came in. It was a move that a lot of people thought, was just kind of a middle-of-the-road move. But he did well for the Reds. And I can see somebody going after him that needs that guy that's going to plug in like third spot in the rotation again, because that's the kind of guy he is. He's not going to be your ace, but he's a good second, third, fourth guy in your rotation, depending on what team it is, of course. And Tampa Bay'd probably love to have him back. I don't know if that's where he'll end up, but they'd probably love to have him back.
You say Littell's how you call it? Is that how you
Yeah,
pronounce
Zach
it?
Littell.
Zach Littell.
Mhm.
Hello, Brenda Grindstaff. How you doing, lady? Conway said it. Hello, darling. How you doing? Jose Quintana. What do you think?
Yeah. Man, he's an interesting guy.
He is an interesting guy, yeah.
I'm not sure about him. I'm really not.
Is he a little squirrely?
Well, he could go either way. He could be lights out and just have a fantastic season, or he could go 12-11. He's good enough to get a winning record, I think, but you just don't know. I think out of all those guys you mentioned, he's the guy that I think's the and he's been around forever. I mean, you'd think we would know, but we kind of don't. I don't know what Jose Quintana you're getting at this point in his career. So I'm not sure where he'll end up. Padres again, maybe. I don't know.
Then you look at Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, what I read here, 487 victories between them, 6 Cy Young awards.
Yeah.
And they're out there to be taken.
They are out there to be taken. Both of them first ballot Hall of Famers, there's no doubt.
Still gas in the tank. Can they help somebody?
Yeah, there is. I mean, both of them showed it last year. Verlander, it seemed like forever before he got that first win last year, for the Giants. And it was just like, I kept pulling for the guy thinking, oh, come on, get that first win under your belt, because it was just like they just couldn't score for him, and you felt so bad. But I think both those guys are guys that can contribute. Both of them are bulldogs, Scherzer's one of those guys that, if he still thinks he's competitive and the manager comes out to get him, he'll tell the manager to go sit down.
Yeah.
He's that kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
I remember Earl Hershiser with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not done. I'm going to just go back in there. I'm a bulldog. I'll fix it. I'll correct whatever. You think I'm running out of gas?
Yeah.
I'll fix it. So, and I'd say if I was the Braves or the Orioles, I mean, I'm sure these guys can go for a small contract compared to some of the other guys, and I'd take a shot at them.
So just having them on your pitching staff is gonna help everybody else.
Clubhouse leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. Either one of them.
Yeah.
They're going to lead the pitching staff, even though they may not be at this point in their career the number one starter. It's almost I almost can't believe I'm saying that, but at this point in their career, they may not be the number one starter on the team they go to, but they will make every other pitcher on the team better.
Absolutely, no question.
Just by being there, and the encouragement that they will be able to give, the coaching that they can give the players that'll be there with them, just because of what they know that the younger guys don't know. If I'll tell you this, if I was a team and I thought in a year or two I was going to be looking for a pitching coach, I would sign one of these guys, and then after 2026 say, hey, how would you like to be our pitching coach? That's kind of the move I would make.
If I had a young pitching staff that needed some leadership in the clubhouse, how to navigate 162 game season of Major League Baseball and be successful at it, I'd go get to one of these two guys.
And you know who ought to do it? You're going to die when I say this. The A's. The A's ought to go out and get one of these two guys. And
I agree. That'd be good.
Yeah.
They got a young pitching staff.
They do. They do. And pitching is their weakness.
Yeah.
And they should go out and get one of these guys. And you know, at this point in their careers, you know, they can probably be had for half of what they've made in the past, which is still a lot of money.
Yeah.
But, you know, go out and do it.
We're here live at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City. Tomorrow will be at Port Travis Deli. The best steamed sandwiches in the Tri-Cities, bar none. We'll be there tomorrow. Friday will kick off the weekend, Super Bowl weekend, Food City Friday in Gray. So as I look at this list of we start spring training next week. All these guys are pitchers. Are you surprised when all these teams are pitching starved and need pitchers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 8 pitchers out there that are quality pitchers that haven't been taken up.
Is that surprising? It is surprising.
Yeah.
Almost kind of makes you wonder, what are they asking for?
Yeah.
You know, are they asking for way more than what the teams think they should get? I don't know.
Cardinals unload Brendan Donovan, heading off to the Mariners. Is that a good move for Seattle?
Yeah, that's a really good move for Seattle. So Seattle lost Eugenio Suarez, and they have retooled. I'll tell you, they have. Brendan Donovan is a good, solid infielder, and we saw this coming. I mean, St. Louis has been trying to trade him, it seems like all offseason.
They have.
And finally pulled off this 3-team trade. And St. Louis got a haul back in prospects. Now, they're the guys that are not, they're not
household names.
Yeah, they're not going to be ready in the next year or so, probably, some of them. It's going to be 2028 before we even hear some of these guys being ready to play in the majors. But they got a lot in return. So, St. Louis is, let's face it, they are rebuilding. And that's something that they don't typically ever have to do. But they are in a rebuilding mode right now. And they are bringing in the prospects, and they're getting some good ones.
We're here live again at Chick-fil-A, where you get that chicken sandwich meal. That's what they're showcasing this month. And the floats, you can get a Dr. Pepper, a root beer, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, Sprite, whatever kind of float you want. You get 2 kinds of floats. You get the swirled float, where it's the ice cream mixed in, or you just get the plumps of ice cream and the drink, whichever one you want. The most popular, I've been told so far, is Dr. Pepper. Everybody, more so than a root beer float, is a Dr. Pepper float. So there you go. So I'm going to get one of those myself and get off the show here coming up in a little while. So last thing before we pick the divisions, Hall of Fame class, Carlos Beltran says I'm going in as a Met.
Yeah.
He had been with 7 seasons, the Mets, the Royals, the Giants, among others. So he'll join Mike Piazza and Tom Seaver as the only players to wear a Mets cap in Cooperstown. So Beltran will go in as a New York Met.
Yeah. So, and let's face it, probably some of the best seasons of his career were in New York with the Mets. But you got to think, okay, Kansas City's probably wondering, wow, what did we have to do to get that logo on his cap, because I would have thought he would have gone in as a Royal, but he chose the Mets.
He chose the Mets. So. Speaking of, here we go, National League East. We're getting ready to pick the division. We do this every week. So we're into the NL. The AL's done, right?
Yeah, we finished AL.
So we're in the National League East, next week Central, and the following will be the West, and it'll be time for spring training games. So, and some of these players will come, and we're going to give him the opportunity if some of these pitchers go to one of these American League teams to maybe retool the divisions because they're still doing some last-minute acquisitions. I got to think out of these 8 pitchers, some of these guys end up on an American League team before it's over with. So if that's the case, we'll allow him to go back and modify his picks if he so desires. So here we go. You got Atlanta, the Mets, the Phillies, the Nationals, and Miami, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. So in the National League East,
oh my,
last place team, you're going to say, or rather, I'm going to say, you're going to say the Miami Marlins. No.
Yeah, I am. I will agree with that. So I like what Miami's doing. I think they're preparing for a couple years down the road, and I think they're preparing well for that. Don't think they're trying to be as super competitive in that division this year. I could be wrong. They could finish fourth, but they're not going to finish third.
Finishing fourth will be, you're going to say the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, I love their lineup. I think they've done. James Wood is a legitimate star. He really is. I think he's gonna be lights out this year. I write that name down because I think he is going to be really good this year if he can stay healthy all season. But they don't have the pitching. They just don't. I mean,
No
when
arms.
they traded Mackenzie Gore, that was it. I mean, he was really the only guy that you could say every time he went out there that they had a chance to win the game.
So you're down to the three. Boy, this is going to be interesting.
This is tough.
Third place, second place, first place. He's going to pick in the National League East. I'm going to say in third place, you're going to say the New York Mets.
That's correct.
Ding, 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 ding.
That is correct. And that is a tough call because the Mets could win this division.
Yes.
They
could.
really could. They
Yep.
could win the division. I like the moves they've made, so they let go of Alonso. They brought in Jorge Polanco to play first. They got Marcus Semien at second. They go out and get Bo Bichette. He's probably going to end up at third base for them because Francisco Lindor is at short. And I think about that infield. That's pretty good. Now,
Pretty stout.
Polanco's not your typical first baseman, but, he'll do all right, I think. And he's not going to hit the 38 home runs. I think it's how many Alonso had last year. He's not going to be able to do that, but he's going to hit some, and they've made some good moves. So I like the Mets, and like I said, they could win the division. Any one of these last three teams could win this division. There's no doubt about it. Any one of these last three teams, and the Mets are going to spend the money that they need to do what they have to do to win. So, but as they are right now, I think there's two teams a little better.
So the suspense is here, folks. You're down to the final two. You got the Mets and the Braves in second place. I'm going to say, you're going to say, wow, that is tough. I'm trying to get inside your brain. I'm going to say, you're going to say to finish second place in the National League East will be the Atlanta Braves.
You would be correct.
Ding, 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 ding,
yes,
ding. Yep.
I just made a lot of your viewers unhappy, but they're still going to be in the playoffs, folks. Okay, there's no doubt they're going to get a wild card no matter what. I think. I love this team. I think the Braves are going to be really, really good. I think they're going to beat up on a lot of teams, but I think there's one team that might be just a little bit ahead of them, and that's the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yep, I would agree.
And here's the thing about the Phillies. They're going to have to win it now because they're getting old.
A little long in the tooth.
They are.
Yeah.
They are getting a little old, and their team, if they don't do it, I'm going to say within the next couple of years, and I don't mean just go far in the playoffs. I mean win the whole thing. It's going to be a while for them.
Well,
they've got a lot of resources put into this team they have now, and they are extremely good, but those guys are getting some age on them.
Well, and you look as we begin the breakdown of the National League. I mean, let's face it, the boys out west. I'm not sure anybody's got anything for them.
Yeah.
Phillies may be the team that can push them. I don't know. We'll see what he
Yeah.
says about the Central next week, or the Padres in a couple of weeks in the West. But right now, it's the Dodgers pennant to lose.
Yeah.
I think the only one may push them is the Phillies. And the Phillies have been there. They've knocked on the door. Last couple of years, they can't knock it down. So,
Right.
But they're running out of time.
They are.
Harper's going up in the. They got Realmuto's back, but he's getting a little long in the tooth. Schwarber's getting. These guys.
These guys are all in their mid-30s.
Nola. I mean, these guys, the pitcher.
Mhm.
So, if they're going to do it, this is the year. But I think it's exactly right, based on injuries, and if any of these 8 pitchers end up on any of these 3 staffs, which you feel like you probably could. Any 3 of those teams, the Phillies, the Braves, and the Mets, can win the division, no question.
Absolutely, they could.
But to pick one on February the 4th, we're picking the Phillies.
We're picking the Phillies.
Philadelphia Phillies to win it. So,
I just made Wendell Smotherman really happy.
He likes the.
He's a huge Phillies fan.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Phillies and Packers.
Used to lay in bed at night when he was a kid and listen to him on his little transistor radio.
Harry Callis.
Yes, because he could get it. He could pick it up.
I used to listen to him.
And that's why he became a Phillies fan, because that was one of the teams he could listen to.
Yep.
Harry Callis.
Harry
exactly
Callis.
Right. That's who it was.
I used to listen. He used to say second base, Juan Samuel. I don't know why I remember
Loved
that.
his voice. Oh,
Me too.
Yeah, you have a voice like that.
Yeah, well,
but
thank you.
One of those voices
That's a
like
compliment.
yours, just a voice made for radio for sure.
Harry Callis could do it.
Yeah.
Calling
Loved
the
him.
Phillies. Yep. And he used to say Greg Luzinski. The way he would say it, roll off his lips. Harry
Yeah.
Callis. So Winterman likes the Phillies. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
So, in this order, the Phillies, the Braves, the Mets, the Nationals, and the Marlins. So that's your NL East nailed down. Again, we're giving him an asterisk. If any of these 8 pitchers, and they got to sign this. I mean, I guess they can go into spring training unsigned.
Yeah, they
but,
can.
And some will probably do that, but we like to figure that some of these will re-sign or sign up. And if they do, any team will allow him to go back and make changes, because every one of these pitchers can be a game changer. And that's why they're still out there, I think. So, anyway, that's what's going on. We got the pitchers and catchers reporting next week. It's here, spring training, which is awesome. Doesn't look that way outside here, but we don't do it here. We're doing the Cactus League and the Grapefruit League. So, how important? I mean, the game started on the 20th. See, some I've read it's almost like NFL exhibition football. There's too many spring training games. You know, these guys come in much better shape than they used to in the old days, if you will.
Yeah.
Play 5 or 10 games. Let's start the season. Forget all the spring training. You say what to that?
So that's exactly how the players feel. Exactly how the players feel. And you know what? They probably could shave a week off of it, I would think, and everybody would be fine. But what they have to do is they have to peak at the right time. And I think a lot of these guys have gotten used to the length of spring training, and they know their bodies. They know when they're going to peak. Hey, these guys know what to be doing right now to get ready for spring training, and they're out there doing it. So it's awesome that they do that. But yeah, I think they could shave a week off of it and everything be fine. Which this year, World Baseball Classic.
Yeah. So let's get into that for a little bit. I want
Yeah.
to talk about that. So anyway, the pitchers and catchers, everybody will report next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then next weekend, which is Valentine's weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then it's the first full workout, and then the following Friday on the 20th, which is 2 weeks from Friday, you'll start spring training games. So it's here. It's right around the corner. The World Baseball Classic. All right. So since we've last met, the buzz has been you got a couple of teams, Puerto Rico being one of those, or countries rather, that says, you know what? We don't have the insurance. They're not going to let them play, which I understand this.
Yeah.
Now, some folks argue this point, say it's wrong, but I get it because you and I play for the Reds. We're going to go play for Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic. Jose Altuve 2 years ago got hit on his thumb, broke his thumb, I think it was, missed 43 games out of the season when he was employed by the Astros. They got hurt in the World Baseball Classic. His insurance companies were saying, we ain't going to cover him now this time around.
Yeah.
So Puerto Rico is looking like they may pull their team out of the World Baseball Classic because there's no insurance to cover if they get hurt.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
If I'm employed by Chick-fil-A and I go across the street and do a show at Wendy's, and I'm being hypothetical, and I blow my throat out, my voice, and I can't do a show back over here, why would I expect Chick-fil-A to pay me because I got hurt over there?
Yeah.
Lost my voice over there.
Right.
I know it's a goofy analogy, but
Yeah.
that's where we are.
Yeah.
And I understand that.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah,
you for it?
I do. I get it. I get
So-
it. And I guess Edwin Diaz is one of the best examples of that too. You know, because celebrating after a win on the mound tears his knee up.
Tears his knee up.
This is the whole season. for the Mets.
So Birchfield, he's here. He's our next guest. So he's working for the Press and the Times News. So he jumps in the car and does a feature story in Roanoke. On the way up there, I don't know, something happens to him. He can't come back and work for the Johnson City Press, but he expects Johnson City Press to keep writing him a check when he got hurt writing freelancing for Roanoke paper. And this is all hypothetical. But that's the point, and I agree with that. And I think they're spot on. So Puerto Rico may not even field a team, and some of the other individuals may not go play.
Right, and there's even some players, you know, that are not qualifying to play for certain countries, like Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah.
Who's going to play for Great Britain? He didn't qualify to play for Great Britain.
There you go. Then the other one I want to throw at you before we go Olympics is coming up
Mhm.
in the United States in what, 2028?
Yes.
Summer Olympics. Baseball is a sport. We want the baseball players to represent America because it's going to be at Dodger Stadium, the American Olympics.
It's going to be in the middle of summer.
In 28 in the middle of the summer. So Rob Manfred says, well, what are we going to do? I'm thinking, surely you come up with a plan
Yeah.
to let these guys play in America in the Olympics. I don't know when the last time we've had baseball in the Olympics in America, if ever. But so now he's trying to work out a way, well, how are we going to stop the season and let them play baseball in the Olympics in America? You got to do that. You got to come
You
up
got
with
to
a way.
figure something out.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
got to. Rob, you got to do it.
It's only 2 weeks.
I'm calling you, Rob, after the show. I call him RM. Hey, Rob, RM. It's TT down here in Tennessee. Come up with something. So,
Yeah.
But they really do. They got to come up with
They'll figure
and
something
they will.
out. They'll
Yeah.
figure something out.
Yeah, you can't let
It'll
that
happen.
You can't miss that opportunity.
Yeah.
Are you hungry?
Yes, sir. I am hungry today.
Hungry in a Bear Cup. Glad you came.
Thank you.
Yep, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Mr. NASCAR, they're racing today in Bowman Gray in Winston-Salem. It's 37 degrees tonight when they drop the green flag. We'll be right back after this. Jeff Birchfield, Kingsport Times New John Cena Press next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. One more time, Mr. Baseball. Ev, we love your son. He's a good boy. She goes, Tom, I know that. Now you're going, Tom, I know that. Tell me something I don't know, Tom. He's my boy. Okay, got you. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this. Tom Taylor Sports Show. Got a brand new product. Tell me what's going on.
We sure do. We have contactless Visa debit cards, and some of you all have been asking and wanting to know, when are you going to implement that? We are hitting the ground running. So right now you can get your free instant issue contactless debit cards at Northeast Community Credit Union, and that's just another form of payment. So you've got the mag strip on the back, you've got your contactless, invisible, what you want to call it, if you want to pay that way for tabless, or you've got your chip. So we're just staying up to date with all the things, and we listened to you. So you wanted that, and that's what we can provide. And we've implemented it with hard work, behind the scenes, a lot of teamwork, effort, and come get your contactless Visa debit card today.
Available now.
Yes.
At all locations. Our locations are?
They are in Rome Mountain. They are in Elizabethton, one in behind Elizabethton High School, our main office. And then we have one off of 19E in Elizabethton. We have one in Johnson City off of West Oakland Avenue.
Social media, how do we find you?
You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, or BeMyCU.org.
And the magic main number is?
423-547-1200.
Brand new product from Northeast Community Credit Union, proud sponsor of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we are live here at Chick-fil-A. Our final guest is our buddy Jeff Birchfield. So are we racing today? Is it on?
Supposed to be racing today, so as far as I know, I won't be at Bowman Gray, though. I'll be actually at Freedom Hall Civic Center covering ETSU and Furman in the first place matchup.
Yep. Men's basketball tonight. It's going to be a biggie at Freedom Hall. But so it's 37 degrees, 20% chance of rain or snow in Winston-Salem, so it's on. They've had to change it twice because of the weather. 37 degrees. I mean, it's fall. Of course, the fog's lifted over here some, not a whole lot, but they're calling for snow here tonight, rain and snow. So, did they ever develop a rain tire where they can just run in the rain if need be?
They can, like at the short tracks like that. They've run it actually at Martinsville before, and they ran one time when Charlotte was doing the Roval. They did, use the rain tires like that. But so they could if that was, all else failed. But actually, the thing tonight, there's probably not going to be many people in the stands on a Wednesday night in 37 degrees.
No. But see, TV loves it. Fox loves it because everybody's going to be at home watching it where it's warm and dry, I would think, both Winston-Salem and around the country. So a lot of folks still digging out of the snow, us included around here, certain places. So, again, so they'll go at it tonight. For those who don't know, give us the layout of Bowman Gray. How's it compared to Bristol? Is it big, small?
It's smaller than Bristol. It's like half the size of Bristol. It's a quarter-mile track.
Okay.
It's around a football field. So basically, if you go like to, Science Hill or Happy Valley, some of these schools that's got a track around the football field, that's basically what they're racing around.
There you go.
And Bowman Gray Stadium was originally the home of Wake Forest football team. Now Winston-Salem State uses it as their home stadium, but they've got one of the best, weekly racing programs in the country. My brother and I have been over there before, just absolutely fantastic. They have like 15,000 people show up for like a weekly show.
Wow.
And so, it's great. So they draw more for the weekly show than I'm sure they're going to tonight for the NASCAR Cup Series with the weather and, everything the way it's been delayed and all.
So what's the seating capacity?
Seating capacity is about 15 to 18,000. So
Okay.
that's, one of NASCAR's historic tracks. I know Glenn Wood with famous Wood Brothers, when he was actually a driver before he became strictly a car owner, he was the guy that mastered Bowman Gray early. David Pearson won there, Richard Petty. The last guy to win there was my all-time favorite driver, Bobby Allison. They finally gave him credit because that was the controversial race where they had the quote-unquote Grand American cars, which were like Camaros and Mustangs and those type cars racing against the Grand National cars. And they were a little lighter, but Bobby ended up winning that race. For years, there was like not an official winner because Bobby was first in that race with those cars, and then Richard Petty was first with the Grand National cars.
I got a new listener that came up and introduced himself to me at one of the ball games. Long story short, I thought you'll be the one who can answer this. He said, where can I find, he's a big Davey Allison fan, is where can I find Davey Allison, the die-cast cars or just Davey Allison stuff, merchandise? I said, I have no clue, but I said, Jeff Birch will know. So where would one go to go get Davey Allison stuff?
Obviously you can check online different places and, I'm sure like eBay and all that, but I'd also check some of the local flea markets,
Mm-hmm.
Some of the guys usually, have some vintage stuff like that at, like the flea market next to Bristol Motor Speedway or down at Flea Market Jonesboro, somewhere like that.
There you go. So if you're looking for, in fact, I was cleaning out a box during the snowstorm and I found a whole, I don't know if anybody wants them, a whole box of Terry Labonte stuff. Autographed cars and little tiny die-cast cars and big cars when he drove for Kellogg's. And so Texas Terry, I don't know if anybody want that stuff or not, but, I'm trying to purge. So I don't know. Where would you put it out there for people if they want to buy it? I'm not going to give it away, but if somebody wanted to buy it, where would you put it? Where eBay, I guess?
eBay, Tri-Cities Marketplace, some of those type places, I'm sure,
So the Clash has been moved twice now because of weather. So it's closer to Daytona chronologically. Daytona's coming up on the 19th, is that right?
What is it the 15th? It's next, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday.
The 15th or the 22nd? Which one would it be?
15th, I guess it'll be.
Yeah. That's next weekend.
Yeah.
Daytona's next weekend?
Yeah. You got Super Bowl this weekend, Daytona next weekend. Super Bowl and then Super Bowl stock car racing.
Wow. So, okay. So I didn't realize even that much closer. So the importance then of doing good today at the Clash, it's the first time on the track for 2026 for all these guys. And it's closer now to Daytona. So the window is closed. Does that make it more important to do well tonight? As the springboard get on down to Daytona next week, start testing, getting ready for everything down there? So how big does it become bigger race because it's closer to Daytona?
Not necessarily. It's I think just winning the Clash is big, for the sponsors and, the chance for, like you said tonight, hopefully they'll have a really good audience on TV since it's, mainly the main sporting event going on tonight, and also that might work out like even better for them than it would have Sunday to begin with. So, you're like last year Chase Elliott won, the race at the Clash, and so that was, gives his sponsors and like Napa and all them like a lot of publicity. So that's the main thing, with it. I think a couple of years ago, Joey Logano won a few years ago when he was out the LA Coliseum. So like really big deal, more for the sponsors and teams like that.
So this is not an all-star race per se. I mean, it's like,
And
how would you define this? An exhibition?
Yeah, an
of sorts?
exhibition race,
Yeah.
because it originally started out, the race was just years ago just for the guys who won pole positions the previous year. That's called the Busch Clash, and they ran just like a 20-lap race, 50 miles, and so it's like a big deal. It led into Daytona. You know, you had qualifying down at Daytona at the same time, and then it's like a week-long deal, you know, and then they'd work into the like after that, they'd have the qualifying races for the Daytona 500 and all that. I sort of miss those days when it's like that. I wish it was actually, if it's my preference, they would race this coming Sunday on Super Bowl Sunday, because, you know, I love football and all, but I don't want to watch 10 hours straight of pre-Super Bowl coverage. I mean, it'd be nice. I've always thought NASCAR, and I've always thought the NBA is sort of missing an opportunity. Put a couple of nice games on there before the Super Bowl and all.
They do everything on. I don't care what toothpaste Sam Darnold uses to brush his teeth before the game. I could care less.
It is. Some of those features get to be ridiculous.
it's
You're
ridiculous.
right on that.
Oh, yeah. Who cares? So just tee it up and play football. Who you think's going to win, Seahawks or the Patriots?
I'm leaning toward the Seahawks. I had this story in the paper earlier this week, you know, from our local coaches or over the weekend. And the majority of them picked the Seahawks, although Daniel Kilgore, who coaches at Providence Academy, he was giving me all the reasons the Seahawks should win, but he said he just had that gut feeling he was going with the Patriots and all. I think Sean Witten, I was trying to think, there's a couple more picked the Patriots, but most of the coaches actually went with the Seahawks because of the great defense, you know, they've got.
They can play it. They got a heck of a defense. And as I said yesterday on the show, I had stats to bear it out. When Drake May gets into a throwing behind, they're playing from behind and has to throw the ball, he's an interception machine. He throws a lot of interceptions. So they can get him to that point and make him a one-dimensional offense. The Patriots were speaking up. I think the Seahawks win it. I think their defense is going to clamp it down. Watch Patriots win by 40. I'll be the laughingest.
Well, last year I think most people picked the Chiefs to win, and then the Eagles, you know, completely blew them out. It ended up like 40-22, but I think at one point in that game, if I remember correctly, it's like 40-6.
Yeah, it was a butt whooping. Yeah. We're live here at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on People Street, right down from Best Buy, hanging out with our buddy Jeff Birchfield. So NASCAR's here. You got the Clash tonight. Then you roll right into Daytona next week and Speed Week, and here we go, the 2026 season. So strategy tonight, how long is the race? How many laps? Is there a break? What's the format, and what's the strategy to win it?
There's like 200 laps. There is a halfway between break and the race, and also, I mean, at a short track like that, the strategy seems to be just get out front and stay out front if you can. That's what Elliott did last year. He and Denny Hamlin, you know, basically Chase led the majority of the race. Denny led a little bit, but, I mean, that was it last year. You know, it's a hard track for a car that size to pass on.
Temperature will fall, obviously, as the sun goes down, and darkness will become in Bowman Gray, Winston-Salem. It starts at 37. As the temperature drops, you change, much like it gets hot down in the summertime tracks, you change your tire pressures and all that. Does the colder temperatures change the strategy as the night wears on?
A little bit with tires like you're talking about. I mean, you don't have as good grip overall with the tires, you know, when it gets real, real cold like that. Inside the cars, the drivers will be fine, you know, that heat inside the car, you know, and, you know, the layers they wear with their suits and all that. Now, the pit crews and all, you know, they're going to be chilly out there, so, you know, they could, you know, have a little mistake or something, you know, on pit road.
Did I lose my championship bet with you last year? I don't remember.
I think so, because I picked Byron and you went with Logano, didn't you?
I did.
And
So-
I think Byron made it, you know, to the final four there.
So you lunch.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy. You get to
A little Chick-fil-A here in a little bit.
Yeah. So you want to do it this year? You want to pick it? You want to wait till next week and pick it?
Let's wait till next week, heading into Daytona.
Yeah. So we'll sit down next week and figure out. I keep going to the well every year. Kyle Busch going to have a good year. So my question with him is, does he have the motor he once had? I mean, he's got his kid. You know, he's mellowed out. He's married. You know, 2 children now. Things change. The dynamics of the family and your life change when you have kids. He's got Braxton, who's a pretty good little race car driver of his own. So, you know, I just wonder if he still has the burn or the desire, because he's still a heck of a race car driver. So That's my storyline for 2026 is how big a burn does Kyle Busch have?
Well, that's part of it. I think the bigger issue with him is, the team he's with. Richard Childress Racing's not the same Richard Childress Racing when Dale Earnhardt's winning 6 championships back in the 1990s. They're definitely a step behind, Hendrick Motorsports, Joe Gibbs Racing, where Kyle raced before, and Penske. Those are the big 3 teams. Everybody else is a little behind, and Childress really hasn't been competitive on very many tracks. I know Austin Dillon's his team's got something figured out at Richmond, but other than that, if you go other than the drafting tracks, they've really not had the cars to contend for wins this last couple of years.
Switching gears, you cover the Bucks. How good is his basketball team this year for Brooks Savage? The Bucks play Furman tonight at Freedom Hall. It's a biggie in the Southern Conference race. How good is the Bucks this year?
Bucks are a really good team. Tonight's matchups worries me a little bit for ETSU because Furman's got a couple of 6'11" guys, including Mr. Bowser, who just recently was able to come back after an injury. They've suffered some other injuries, but Furman is a tall team, not only on the front court, but the back court as well. They've got some lengthy guards and all that, so that could give ETSU some trouble. That's been some of the teams they've struggled with, throughout the course of the season. But the Bucks are playing well. Great win to go on the road and go down there to Wofford and beat them. And ETSU did have a size advantage in that game, and so they were able to take advantage of that. But overall, I see this Bucks team as they've got as good a shot of anyone as winning the regular season championship right now because they've got a game lead on Wofford and Mercer and Furman. So if they could pull that off tonight, that'd be a big step toward winning the regular season title.
One of your heroes having a birthday today, Alice Cooper, is 78. So I know you're a big Cooper fan. So back in the day, you used to wear the black around your eyes and sang "Welcome to My Nightmare." And so Alice Cooper's 78.
Oh, I have plenty of nightmares, believe me.
Clint Black is 64 today, so that's her 2 birthdays of sorts. Is your father watching today? I haven't seen him pop up yet. Your mama. So how's your mama doing? She doing good?
She's doing okay, for sure.
Boy, she can cook.
Yeah, she can cook. I've got to, though. She's keeping my nephew's kids today, so she's got the great grandkids, and they love Chick-fil-A, so I'm going to have to get them some chicken nuggets here
there you
in a little
go.
bit.
Take them home. And your mom would love that. You're bringing in chicken nuggets for the great grandkids.
Yeah, they love this place.
Yep, understandably so. School's been out. This place been packed with kids. There's 3 more coming by. Johnson City's out. Elizabethton's out. Washington County's out. Sullivan County's out. A lot of schools are out.
I'm going to guess Carter County's out.
Carter County's out. They may be out till April. I'm telling you. Can you imagine being up on one of those back roads in Unicoi County? I mean, as I said yesterday on the show, first time I can remember, the Tennessee Highway Patrol, I guess it was Saturday night, came on Facebook, and he's at the top of Sam's Gap, and it's snow looked like buttermilk biscuits coming down the flakes. And the trooper said, "Don't come over Sam's Gap. We don't want you up here. It's too dangerous," so on and so forth. I've never seen that. I don't remember seeing it, so that's how bad it snowed. But can you imagine on the aftermath of that, trying to be in a school bus driver, put them down those roads, go and pick up these kids on slick as glass roads still in the mountains with more snow coming tonight. So they may not be out till March.
Well, I had this conversation actually a few years ago with Jesse Kroll. If you remember him, worked for Channel 11. And Jesse was from Minnesota, and he said, "My gosh," said, "you guys, we go to school with a foot of snow," and said, "You guys are out with like 2 inches." And I'm like, well, Jesse, think about it. Like if you get in Carter County or Unicoi County like you're talking about in the mountains, I mean, our terrain, going up and down these hills and these hollers and all that, it's dangerous in a school bus where, up there in Minnesota where he's from, it's completely flat. So, yeah, you could, no problem going to school up there.
Great point. If you come out of Elizabeth and go up through Hampton, past Hampton High School, that's 19E, I think it is, and go from there to Roan Mountain, in the summertime, it's straight up and down steep. And every time I go up and down through in the summertime, I'm thinking, I wouldn't want to be on this road in the wintertime. And you got guys and ladies driving school buses off that road back into these back roads, and I thought, nope. So Carter County's out, Johnson County's out, Unicoi County's out, the mountainous counties are out again today. And we do have a chance of rain this afternoon. It hasn't started raining yet, but it's going to change after dark to some snow. So we may have more cancellations tomorrow, which I anticipate we will. Who wins this thing tonight? Who wins the Clash? If you had to pick one, who wins it tonight?
I'm going to go with the defending NASCAR champion, Kyle Larson. I think he's going to be hard to beat there at Bowman Gray. Sort of your point on that straight up, I cover every June usually, that homegrown bicycle race. And part of the appeal of that is the end of it's like 7.7 miles going straight up to Carver's Gap, where it ends at.
And weather like this, I take my chances on a 10-speed before I get on a school bus, because I'm telling you, or a tractor trailer. And the semis, they go pretty good, but once you lose them, you can watch these videos. Once you lose them, when they start sliding, you're done, because you just can't control them. But until that, they go pretty good in the snow. So anyway, we're not done with snow. Groundhog Day, Punxsutawney Phil said 6 more weeks of wintry weather. But on the flip side, as Mr. Baseball we talked about, spring training starts next week. So think spring, it's coming. So.
Oh yeah, I was down in Florida a couple of weeks ago. It's nice, and he was talking that tractor trailer. That's what my dad always did for a living. He's a truck driver, so he's got plenty of great stories about driving in these big snow drifts and all that stuff.
I wouldn't want to be no. I'm okay. I admire anybody that does that, including your daddy, because that's tough work. It's okay in the summertime, but you got a load going up or down Sam's Gap or up and down 19E, or pick someplace. Fancy Gap over on 77 in North Carolina and Virginia. No. So anyway, you hungry?
I'm always hungry here at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, get you something good to eat. We'll find out next week. We'll put him to the test who he thinks is going to win the 2026 NASCAR regular season championship. You like the new format?
I do like the new format and stuff. So also pick up a copy of today's Johnson City Press Kingsport Times News. I got a little NASCAR in there.
Mm-hmm. And Bristol's part of the chase now, right?
It is part of the chase. So hopefully it'll make the racing better at Bristol, where you don't have where does cutoff race. Sometimes the guy running 5th or 6th wouldn't really see the benefit of trying to just gain a position and, drive a little cautiously and all that. So hopefully this will go back to where it's a little more beating and banging.
Beating and banging, a little bit more competitive. Thanks for coming, sir. See you next week. We'll be right back after this from Food City. We'll take a look at sports. Got a little bit more to talk about. We're live here at Chick-fil-A on the Tom Taylor Sports. A lot of grocery store chains out there. Why Food City?
Tom, I hope you've got a lot of time, because I've got lots of reasons why you need to shop at Food City. Our associates are number one. They're here to serve the community and our customers, and they do a fabulous job taking care of our customers. This is a family-owned company, and it's such a blessing to work for a family-owned company. They truly care about their associates. And we're so involved in the community, Tom. We do so much in all the communities where there is a Food City location. Anytime there's any big events, typically you're going to see that Food City logo. And when you're in the store, Tom, you've got quality items to be able to select from. Talking about the produce, we're picky about our produce. We sell a lot of locally grown items. And right now, half runners is what everybody's all about. And then, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the meat department. We have our meat cutters back there every day who cut and grind meat fresh daily. Our meat, beats none other. It's great products that we sell back there in our meat department, and it's always fresh. And then the food service department, Tom, I love going to the food service department, and no matter what you get, it's always good, it's always fresh, it's always hot. And like our sushi, they roll that fresh daily. And while you're here, Tom, you can always go to Food City Pharmacy and pick up your prescriptions or get a flu shot. Mm-hmm. It's time for flu shots again. Mm-hmm. So there's so many different reasons why you should shop at Food City, and I could go on and on about our company.
Value every day, Food City. Lisa Johnson from the marketing department. Food City, proud sponsor of Tom Taylor Sports Show and the Elizabethton Cyclone Sports. Value every day, Food City. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show number 2,440 on our way to 2,500 shows. And so we're rocking along. Tomorrow we'll be at Port Travis Deli. Friday we'll be at Food City in Gray, kicking off the Super Bowl weekend. Go Seahawks. I got the Seahawks beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I'll give you the reasons why here in a second. All right, top 25 basketball tonight. 5th-ranked Illinois hosting Northwestern. 8th-ranked Houston, the Cougars, home to Central Florida. 10th ranked Michigan State, the Sparties at Minnesota tonight. 24th ranked Louisville, the Cardinals will be hosting Notre Dame. BYU, number 16th ranked Cougars at Oklahoma State. 20th ranked Clemson will be at Stanford tonight. And number 6 Gonzaga, the Bulldogs at Portland at men's top 25 college basketball. On the ice tonight, the National Hockey League. Yeah. Last night, the Canes, I'm a Caniac. Brandon Young's got me hooked on Carolina. They came from behind and skated past Ottawa 4-3. Other winners, Columbus, the Flyers, the Islanders, Tampa Bay, Toronto, and Anaheim all get wins last night. On the ice tonight in the National Hockey League, who skates? You've got some good ones. You've got the number 1 team in the National Hockey League, Colorado, hosting San Jose, the Sharks, and the Avalanche in Colorado tonight. Other ones, Minnesota skates in Nashville. The Predators with 26 wins, the Wild with 33 wins. They'll drop the puck at 8 o'clock tonight at Bridgestone Arena, Nashville for the Predators. Chicago skates in Columbus. Boston, the Bruins with 32 wins, will skate in Florida, who's got 28 wins. It's a good one. Montreal with 31 wins will skate in Winnipeg tonight. Detroit, the Red Wings in Utah. Utah with 29. Detroit with 33 wins. That's a good one. The Dallas Stars with 33 wins hosting the Blues tonight. Edmonton skates at Calgary. Seattle and L.A. and Vancouver. The Canucks, I love saying it, the Vancouver Canucks will be in Vegas tonight. That's what you got going there. All right, so Super Bowl. Super Bowl 60 coming up. We'll wrap it up with this. We'll talk like we talked yesterday because it's there. The defense will win the football game, obviously, the better defense. I think it's going to be the Seahawks. Drake May and the Patriots are going to be playing from behind, I think. So 99% chance that you're going to be playing from behind with the Seahawks. They've held a double-digit lead in 11 out of the last 14 games. So these guys are getting it done. The Patriots, when they have to play from behind, Drake May becomes a interception machine per se. 11 games in his career where he has thrown at least 33 passes or more, and the Patriots have went 3-8 in those games. So when he has to throw a lot, he's not successful. So when he's been forced to be one-dimensional and throw the football when they're coming from behind, the Patriots, they don't do well. May, regular season, Drake May in the playoffs, two different people. Regular season completion rate 72%. Regular postseason completion rate down to 56%. Okay, crunching numbers here. Patriots, the second highest scoring team in the NFL during the regular season at 29 points a game. Postseason, 18 points a game. They've shaved off 11 points a game, the Patriots, in scoring in the playoffs. Why? Because they're playing good defenses. NFL, you run across some cream puffs throughout the season. They have leaky defenses like the Raiders, my team. So you get into a situation where you're playing some tighter competition. You see you've shaved 11 points off your points per game because the defenses are better. So Patriots, if their defense can shut down Seattle's offense, I think is their prayer to win the ball game. And right now I don't see it. So I'm taking the Seahawks, again, to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl 60 coming up on Sunday night in Santa Clara, California. All right, before we get out of here, let's redo the verse one more time. Then we're going to boogie out, rejoin you tomorrow. Thanks again to Andrew Smith, sports writer, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. Thanks to Jeff Birchfield, sports writer, Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. And thanks to Mr. Baseball, Greg Salyer, for coming by and being on the show today. Appreciate you guys very much, more than you realize. We had a record month last month. Pastor Bobby Stout always said, is it bragging? He said, you're not bragging. You just tell them what happened last month or whatever your success numbers are. And you give the Lord the credit, and I do. It's all about him. It's his show. So, but we did have a record month last month, over 140,000 views. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I can't thank you enough for that. So, and I hope it doesn't come across as bragging. I just want to just inform you that we had a record month as far as views, which is pretty incredible because January is typically a slower month, but it certainly was not the case. And went back and looked at 2024's numbers. We've basically doubled, almost tripled the numbers from 2 years ago in January. So give him all the credit. That's why we're getting ready to do this verse. Psalms 27:1 says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" Whew. Fear turns our focus away from the Lord and towards the troubles that intimidate us. We need to look at our fears as opportunities to rely on the Lord. Amen. For his help, his guidance, and his saving power. No problem is too big for the Lord, who promises to save us and be with us in the midst of harm. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for loving us that much. Psalms 27:1. What a great verse. What a good way to end the broadcast. Thanks again for being with us. Back tomorrow, we'll be at Poor Traps Deli in Elizabethton, the best steamed sandwiches in the Tri-Cities, bar none. Friday, we'll kick off the weekend, Super Bowl weekend, no less, with a lot of food consumption ideas from Food City, cheese balls and all the different things they got out there. We'll tell you about that coming up again on Friday on the Food City Friday from Food City in Gray. Out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours. Rejoining you again tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Poor Traps Deli in Elizabethton. Let's see who's coming tomorrow. We got Leslie's coming tomorrow, Leslie Broccoli. We've got also David Collins coming tomorrow. Get some other folks lined up. Of course, Richard will be there tomorrow, the owner of Poor Traps. So he was sick. We were there last time, had the flu bug, but he's healed up. He'll be there tomorrow. So join us. If you don't have lunch plans tomorrow, come to Poor Traps. Steamed sandwiches extraordinaire in Elizabethton tomorrow. All right. Thanks for being with us. Don't forget to swing by here and get your chicken sandwich meals. And don't forget Valentine's Day next weekend. I'm looking up here. They got the heart-shaped. Put your nuggets in it. You got your brownies to put in it. You got your minis to put in it, and a heart-shaped tray to put chocolate chip cookies in it for your Valentine for Valentine's Day 2026 at Chick-fil-A here in Johnson City on People Street, right down from Best Buy. Out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours. Thanks for watching show number 2,440. Started 11 years ago in our bedroom with a clunky camera, clunky microphone, and a clunky computer. Here we are. 11 years and 2,440 shows later, still going thanks to the Lord Jesus. See you back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching the show. As always, we'll tell you, bloom where you're planted, and win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for watching the